So, about half an hour ago, I had what I would consider a catastrophic filter implosion. So, if you've paid attention to my Twitch streams before, you might be surprised to know that I actually have a pretty good filter. There are certain topics, it's true that I talk all the time, but there's certain topics that I won't talk about, there are things I won't say, and if you don't know what those things are, it means my filter's doing its job. But today it didn't. It seemed to be just sort of a perfect storm of circumstances, and I just said the first thing that came to my mind, which I really don't do very often. I used to. I used to be this kind of person who would just say whatever came to his mind, and I didn't want to be that person anymore. And so I stopped. And today, there was a glitch in the system, and I said the first thing. Anyway, here's what happened. So, I was in the grocery store after lunch with my father, and I was just buying a few things, and I got some energy drinks from one side of from one side of the aisle. And this lady was going this way, I was going that way, and she was, short, about maybe 65, long blonde hair, and she got in my face out of nowhere. I had my music in, I was sort of off in my own head, I wasn't paying attention to anything around me, and she said, "So you think it's okay to just walk in the wrong lane?" And she looked at me, and I'm not kidding, the expression she had on her face it's as if I had shouted a racial slur out of nowhere like she was that angry at me. Like, it wasn't just indignant, it wasn't just like Karen rage, it was genuine rage. She was really angry at me. Well, realistically she wasn't. She was angry at something in her life, and I was around, and she found me as the perfect excuse. And I short-circuited for a second. I didn't have any time to sort of take a step back and think about what I was going to say. What I normally would say is, "Excuse me?" But what I said was, "Ma'am, take your pills." And I won't say that came out of nowhere. I've actually had that one on the tip of my tongue for a very long time. It's a sort of guilty pleasure of mine to think about using it in certain situations where people are behaving unreasonably. Because it's pretty universally offensive, and it'll cause someone who's already making a spectacle of themselves to become much worse. You've heard of the art of de-escalation. That's how you escalate someone's behavior. And so I haven't used it, but that was the thing that just came out. And I started laughing, which made it much worse. I wasn't laughing at her. I was laughing at the fact that all of a sudden this phrase that I have very carefully not used suddenly came out of my mouth. And oh boy, it did make her worse. So she got up in my face. She's like, "What the fuck did you just say to me? You can't talk to me." Anyway, and I said, "Ma'am, excuse me." And I walked off down the aisle. She followed me for a little bit, just to the end of the aisle. She was actually calling for security. This store, by the way, does not have security. And then she just stopped, and I kept on my way. So yeah, that was my day. How was your day?